Okay, legends, welcome back to the channel with another Overlord, Lord of Nazarick video. Now in this video, we'll be talking about the set relics of every carry in the game so far and the carries that you need to build them and what you need to build them. And I will talk about alternatives and what's the best sets and why they work on them. And I'll be explaining why didn't I include other sets for carries such as Sunset set, let's say, or such as the other set that is the Desolation set, which is for the debuffs. I'll be talking about that and I'll be explaining everything. Now this, you can always go around and replace whatever set that you have to work with yourself. Now, I didn't include all the normal SR characters. I included the SR characters that are up to meta right now, and I'll be explaining or talking about or including a little bit of talking about the SR units that you want to play or build with other lineups, and you'll have some knowledge about them. Now, I just want to say, if you have different ideas, different concepts, you tried different things that it works, you maybe broke the game, you have something like off meta that you're playing and it's working and it's giving you higher results and helping you on the lineups, please join the Discord and let us know about that. Let's talk about set by set and explain what they do, and then I'll explain why I chose the characters that way. And massive and big help to my friend Midu for helping me out with this. He built every single unit. He's a big whale that built every single unit, every single relic, maxed out many things, and he have give me some insight on that. So big shout out to him and his spreadsheets. So first of all, let's start. So we have Star Set. Star Set is one of the best relics so far in the game for whatever we have as a counter, as assist, and as chase, because it's one of the best sets right now and it has best characters in slot for PvP and in PvE as well, and it will help you a lot. It does not only work for chasing characters, it works also for counter with the team that has no counter on it. Let me elaborate and explain. So there's the meta team that we're playing with Isekai. This is Isekai. He's a tank, he's not an attacker, he's not a damage dealer, but I'll be talking why I included him as an honorable mention, and I'll explain my logic behind it. So we have Isekai that will give or grant your team some counter raid for your lineup, and we have Brain that will give counter raid to your lineup as well. So if you're playing them both together and pairing them up, your entire team will be countering not only the characters that does counter. So if you play the Star Set on any other carry or healer or tank on the lineup with them, with these both two characters, they will counter and the set will activate and deal exactly more damage. This is why they're super important, super crucial on this lineup, and Star Set is now one of the best meta sets in the game so far, especially for counter teams. Now, Brain is a counter character that he goes and counter before you start your attack as an enemy. If the enemy want to start, he goes and attack, and he will gain that 35 extra attack or extra damage boost to the characters, and you build him on crit rate. Yes, I know you can build him if you want on the Termination set, so he will nullify the defense, 30% of the defense, and he will counter as well, and he will have a crit rate. But you want to build him on attack as well. This set gives you a plus 15% attack boost as a main stat, so he will have the 15%, and with the substats build him on a crit rate. With the Awaken, get a relic that is give you a crit rate and build him on it, and with enchantments try to give him crit rate, as I did for myself. I have him at almost 70% crit rate, which is absolutely huge for a free-to-play account. I still don't have the Awakened Relic for crit rate, and I have him at 70%. So imagine if I have another 10% of crit rate, that's an 80%. He will be absolutely huge, and of course we can increase the crit rate more and more with everything, single enchant or every single substat that we have. Same goes for Aura. Aura chases a lot, Aura does a lot of damage, and she's consistent with her chase. Absolutely phenomenal. So what do you want to build her? On a set that gives you bonus damage when you chase, when you counter, and when you go and assist as well. So all of these, even Maiden Love Albedo, Momon, I will be talking especially about Momon now. All of them counter with the counter team, and they chases on their own. Momon has chase, Aura has chase, and Maiden Love Albedo has assist. So on assist she will gonna get extra damage, on chase they will gonna get extra damage, and when you put them on counter team they're gonna get extra damage. Also goes for Yuri. Now Gazef is a special case, I'll be talking about him, and in my opinion what's the best set, but in general Chase or this set is the best for him. You can play him off the counter team, so you don't need to play him on this. He counters on his own, so whenever he counters, but he needs to debuff you to counter. But I would highly tell you to build him on Termination set. I'll be talking about that, why, but let's keep him here for now and explain. When we get to Termination set, I'll explain everything about it. So for Momon is a character that will chase a lot and deal a lot of damage. You don't care about the damages anymore. You don't care about the extra defense down. So this is why everybody are building him on a crit rate set with the Termination set. I understand that, but he has nullifying 75% of the defense of the enemies by his own, and he will go and deal insane amount of damage, and you can build him on high crit rate. Without the Termination set, the 15% bonus, we get him to 90% crit rate, and you can get him to 100 and 100 and more crit rate with putting him on Termination or Vert Mari, but Vert Mari is not that helpful for him. I would say Termination is better because you're gonna go and nullify 30% extra defense. But with the Chase one, it's similar concept and similar math if you play him with the star set and the nullification of Termination. Why? If you ignore their defenses, you're gonna get an extra 30% of damage. While here, you're not gonna get an extra 35% of attack. You're gonna get a 35% extra boost in damage as well. 35, so 5% more, even if they have high defenses. He's not gonna ignore the 30%. He already ignored 75%. This is why Chase the counter set is the best set for him, especially for his Chase, and because he counters as well. Absolutely, I think it's one of the best sets for him. And if you want to build him and test with and experiment on your own with other sets, be my guest. But this is absolutely fantastic for him. Now Gagaran, I included her in this list as a carry because right now, off of today, counter is meta because of Isekai and Brain together on the lineup. If you have her as well with them on the lineup, she will counter and deal extra amount of damage, and she ignores defense by her own. So you don't even need to play her on anything else. Just build her on crit rate substats and give her the star set, and she absolutely goes and destroy. Now let me talk about Gazef a little bit. Gazef is a character that is going for counter, absolutely yes. You need to build him on high crit rate. It's hard to build him on crit rate. I know his crit rate is higher than normal characters if you want to build him on counter, but we don't play him mainly with the counter team, because the counter team you're gonna play. This is the best team to play for counter, I think. One support and any other one-shotting unit. He needs so much time to ramp up. So you either want to play him on with this set with the counter team, or play him alone, but you want to give him the Termination set, so he nullifies his defenses and he go and slays and kill everybody else. But he's so lackluster, and this is why I put him with the counter team. If you have Gazef already built, you made the mistake and you built him, you put investments on him, play him on the counter team, you pray to God you get an Isekai so he can be a little bit useful. Now Isekai, I know he's a tank. I know Isekai is a tank. We don't use him as an attacking character. Let me tell you something about him. If you build all the substats from HP, he's gonna benefit from that because his shield will be thick and he will go and cleanse you with his everything, and he will give you an indomitable for one character and himself. Absolutely crazy character. But when you play the counter, as we see on counter teams, we're playing lack of damage because we're playing one damage dealer, which is Brain, and we're playing him and playing another healer or another tank, which is Valkyrie Shaltir, and playing somebody else, which you lack in damages. So build him on attack, give him a little bit of attack. He doesn't have a lot of attack, and he will counter. His counter will deal 35% extra damage. Now, extra damage is not extra attack. It's different. Extra damage, it's the damage that you do from your attacks. He does from his counter attacks damages according to his HP. So giving him the chase set or the counter set or whatever set you call it, this one, the stars one, he will do 35 extra percent of damage according to his HP. This is why the smartest players that I've seen build him on this set for countering, and they're absolutely having his numbers sometimes more than Brain on the lineup dealing damage to the enemies, which is absolutely crazy to me because I've never seen a tank that deals more damage in this game so far, more than Valkyrie Shaltir, to be honest, because of her AoE damage explosion from her shields. He is one that deals even more than carries sometimes on the lineup. This is what I will say about it. Now let's talk about the Thunder set. Thunder set is one of the most consistent special sets in the game, one of the best sets in the game. Now, why is that? Why is Star Set so important? I mean, Thunder Set is so important. Thunder Set is a set that you're gonna get, I think the calculation was between 12 to 17 free full sets from the start of the game, playing the game until you progress. Every time you progress, they're gonna slap you with a Thunder Set. Every time you're gonna go and do something, they're gonna slap you with some equipment from Thunder Set, which is absolutely huge. Now, what does Thunder Set do? It will give you a boost of 30% extra damage or 20% extra damage of attack if the enemies has HP more than 40%. 20% is super consistent and super good. Now, it's the best in slot set for Idol Shaltir. Yes, you might say, no, what are you talking? We need to build her on crit rate. She has 0 crit rate built. If you want to build her on crit rate, special on crit rate, I will highly recommend just put her on the Termination set. Why? On the Termination set, she gets the 15% bonus and she deals extra damage because she nullified 30% of the damages. Very, very good. Now, many people told me, you build her on Sunset set, Pika. Yes, because I didn't have a good Thunder set. That's the only problem. I didn't have every single attack, damage boost, and crit rate that I rolled were on the Sunset set. So I had to give it to her and not give her Thunder set. I'm trying to build a Thunder set for her because it's the best set in my opinion, and with testing with all my friends that I told you about, they're playing this set and absolutely destroying. Now, why Sunset is lower on priority, and I would highly recommend nobody use that because it destroys you. It will get you to a point that destroys your damages. You're not gonna do damages because it's super niche. Avoid Sunset set. I will be avoiding and deleting every Sunset set that I have. It's the worst set in the game for attackers. What Sunset offers is every time your enemy goes below 7.5 or loses 20% of their HP, you're gonna increase your damages by 7.5. So first of all, 20% HP, then 20% HP, that to get you to 15%. Then another 20% HP, so they need to lose 30% or 60% of their HP. So you're gonna get to a point that it will be 22.5 extra damage from your attack to the enemies. While this set, as long as the enemies you start the battle and they have their HP above 40%, you're gonna deal extra 20% damage. The one that you need to lose them, to let your enemy lose 60% of their HP so you can attack or deal more damages with the Sunset set, this one does it from the start of the battle when they have more than 40% of HP. This is why the Thunder set is super important for you as super consistent. It's a set that you can play on anybody. Build them on substats of crit rate, crit damage, whatever you want to do, some resistance, damage reduction, or attack, defense, HP, whatever you want. It's so viable to build on any carry in the game. This is why I would say stay off Sunset set. It's the worst idea to do is to build Idol Shaltir on Sunset set like I did. I have her on Sunset set. I'm telling you, it's the worst decision I made. Because I thought that the substats are so good, I will delete all of that and give her a Thunder set. Absolutely fantastic. Now, if you want to build her on crit rate, I will highly recommend Termination. Now, if you want to go and reduce the cooldown of her skills by the second and her ultimate, you can play the Vert Mari, but we don't care about that. Why don't I play her on this set? The extra damages, it does not matter with her because it's based on attack and you want to do them on damage with her. So play her on Termination set. Because the lineup will go like this. You're gonna start with somebody deals a lot of damage, another one deals a lot of damage, another one deals a lot of damage, then start with her or end with her and kill everybody on the lineup. This is the AoE clear, we talked about it, check my videos for PvP. So you don't want to play her on Vert Mari. Vert Mari set is set for you on a lineup that will go round after round after round, so you can abuse cooldown reductions. But for her, you just want to one shot with her ultimate and that's it. So build her on that. Same goes for Nabe. As you see, so Nabe and Idol Shaltir are exactly the same characters, except Nabe is not AoE, she's single target with her ultimate. She's going good with shock teams. And the cool thing about both of them, if she kills a unit, Idol Shaltir, or any unit dies on your lineup, she's gonna go and do her passive, which is killing another unit or damaging with a massive heartbreak, which is absolutely fantastic. While Nabe will go, if you kill a unit on your lineup, she's not gonna do anything, but with her skills, if you ultimate on somebody and kill them, she's gonna go and use the skill again and attack somebody else. If they die, she's gonna go and attack somebody else. So I would highly build her also on Thunder set, because she will get this extra boost if they are above 40%, and if they're above 40%, you want to deal extra damage to the next character if you killed somebody. Now, you can build her on Termination set as well. Vert Mari for long run, I wouldn't highly recommend building her on that. Now, why Termination set? I put these two, especially these two, not anybody else on them. Termination set is one of the most broken sets in the game right now. We had a bug at the start of the game that it was stacking. So if you attack somebody, you deal 30% damage nullification on them, and it stays on them. You hit with this second character, and it hits them with 60% nullification. Now, this was fixed after the game. It was bugged a little bit, and it was fixed in the same day. I think it was patched after I released my video, which is great job by the devs. Now, this set is absolutely crazy. And as I said, if you don't want to play them on counter, the second best option, anybody for counter team, is Termination, because they will negate 30% of the defense. And you can build, if you don't want to build them on Thunder set, you can build them on Termination. Anybody here that you don't want to build on anything else, you're going to build them on Termination, except Evil Eye. We're going to be talking about her and why it's the worst idea to build her on well, she can benefit from Termination, but it's the worst idea to build her on anything that has crit rate. So, the highest stats of the game for characters such as Kokaitis, if you're playing Kokaitis such as myself, play him on Termination set, he will get 15% extra bonus in crit rate. He has already 20% as crit rate, that's a 35% just because you equipped with him Thunder set. That's an insane buff for his crit rate, so it's good, and he deals a lot of damage. He doesn't need a boost in attack, he needs a boost on crit rate because he does a lot of damage. He's, I think, the only character that you would play on crit rate and crit damage only without giving him a single point in attack. His attack ramps up because of the debuffs that he does. Now, another alternative set that you can play him on, which is the Executioner set. I'm playing him right now on Executioner set because on every debuff you increase your damages. Sebas, I'm not gonna talk a lot about him. I know you can play him on the Stars set because you can build him with a full mate team, and every time they attack, he attack and stuff like that. But you want to build him on Termination set because he will ignore 30% of the defense, and you want crit rate on him, and he can have one-shot potential on any lineup, especially if he's with Yuri on the lineup. You start with Yuri, you use her second skill, you try to protect him with anybody on your lineup, anybody that gives shields like Knight Albedo or Valkyrie Shaltir that gives you damage sharing, or Death Knight gives you damage sharing, and he will stay alive. Every time Yuri takes an attack, he goes and stacks up more and more and more and more his passive, and then he goes and hit you. You need him fully built 6 stars, and you need his Arc Light as well. But this is the best set for him. Now for Vert Mari set. Mari, absolutely one of the characters that loves Vert Mari set. Now, of course, you can build another crit rate. It's not for the crit rate that we're building Mari on Vert Mari, but you can build him on crit rate if you have him on Vert Mari set. It gives you 15% bonus in crit rate, so you can build him on stats of crit rate, which is absolutely huge as well, because his seed crits as well if you have him high on crit rate. Now, Vert Mari will reduce the cooldown of his ultimate, will reduce the cooldown of his most important skill, which is the second skill, especially for you hitting high stages and there's a boss that you need to delay their turn meter. This is why we build him. Absolutely fantastic. I showed in many videos how it's super good, especially with versus the boss XI Neon. We went and destroyed him just because we delayed him with the Vert Mari set. Absolutely fantastic. 40% chance to reduce your cooldown is absolutely huge and underrated. Now, a new character. If you have brain damage in your head, you wouldn't build him on Vert Mari set. You will build him on something else. The only set that you need to build him on is Vert Mari set. He only needs crit rate and needs damage cooldown reduction on his skills. That's it. He's meant to be built on Vert Mari set. Any other than that, Zaryusu, don't go and argue with me. Just go to Discord and argue with other people, okay? We tried him on a million set. We tried him on a million other thing. The best set for him is Vert Mari. You wanna go and recycle your rotation. keep everybody on cold stacks and everybody on freeze. You want his second skill to be reduced with the cooldown. He reduces his cooldown by his own, and you want to reduce it also with Vert Mari. Imagine every single time you're gonna go and use his ultimate on every single round, and he does that. He does that. He does not have the potential to do that. He does that. We played him on every single round going and using his ultimate. Absolutely insane. His second skill also, you can use his second skill, but it has a higher cooldown. So you might go one round with his second skill, then his ultimate, because it's back to back. You can't, in the same round, you can do that. The next round, you might use his ultimate, but not his second skill. Third round, his second skill, then his ultimate. Absolutely a huge recycle turn unit. Absolutely huge. Now, another unit, Black. Absolutely, these are the two best sets for him. Okay, you can build him on Termination set, you can build him on Vert Mari set. For me personally, I would love to build him on Vert Mari set, not because of the because he already almost one-shot anyone with his second skill. I want it off cooldown as soon as possible so I can go and one-shot another unit. This is one of the most insane units. We're not seeing him right now for every whale that are playing the game, because you can get him to 5 stars so far. Now, of course, you can buy more shards and packs and get him to 6 stars immediately. He's not a summonable character. He's a character that you collect his shards via the game. Now, of course, in the late game, if you want to build him for one-shotting only one unit on the lineup and that's it, your lineup is about counter or something, you can put him on Termination set. If you play him with counter team, I would say it's absolutely huge. And you can counter with him another Isekai. So you play him with Brain, Isekai, and some other healer or support or buffer, and you put him with Termination set, and you can go and absolutely destroy their Isekai. He hits Isekai, eliminate his shield wall. The shield wall will not be there. Even if they use their ultimate with Isekai, it won't work. You can hit any other unit on the lineup because he negates that. Now, of course, with Vert Mari, I can use his second skill again and again and again. So this is why I recommend using that. Now, Evil Eye. Why do we play her on the Crimson set? Absolutely a huge set for her, especially because she gains damages by attack and she does not gain damages by crit rate. Okay, let me explain perfectly. So if you build her on crit rate, and if you give her more crit rate, every 1% crit rate is transferred to 0.6% attack. Why would you do that? You're killing your rates. So instead of giving her 15% crit rate, and this 15% will transfer into something like 8% or 9% of attack, give her just straight up an attack set. So it will give her 15% extra attack immediately, and then you can go and damage your enemies. And it will do an extra damage after you do your AoE with 40% of the damages that she does, and it does not crit, and she doesn't crit. So it does not matter the condition of it not critting, because Evil Eye does not crit with her skills. And yes, if you by mistake have a substat of crit rate, that's not wrong. Keep it. It will help you out. If you have like damage boost, attack, and something like HP or defense, so you can protect yourself, and you have a crit rate on the side, you got a crit rate, yes, keep it on her. The best thing to be built on her, actually, as a substats, are ER and attack and damage boost. She's a glass cannon, one tap. Any unit in the lineup, if they start before you, they can one tap her, immediately one shot her. But if you start before them, you absolutely destroy their lineup. The other best set that I would say playing on her, which is the Thunder set, of course, because it will help you out, because they will start with 40% extra HP. So they will have above 40% extra HP, so you'll do the 20% extra damage. But with this one, you'll do an extra percent damages extra with your AoE. So you AoE them again and take extra damage. This is one unit I would say this is the best on her. You can play them on many carries. You can play on Mari as well if you want to just go for damages. So the extra damage with the seed, extra damage, absolutely will be huge. You can play them with any AoE. You can play him with Idol Shaltir. Also, you can still crit with this set. If you play a Idol Shaltir with all her substats, Awaken and Enchants with crit rate, she can crit with this set, but the extra damage that comes bonus from this set, the 40%, will not crit, okay? That's the only thing. Now, lastly, we have the Executioner set. One of the favorite sets for everybody in this game. Termination set is not a set just like it's not bad. Everything in this game gives debuffs on the enemies. Now they can cleanse themselves from debuffs, but everything gives buffs, debuffs, even tanks, carries, supports. So you're gonna play a lot of debuffs such as bleed, shock, damage down, damage reduction, defense reduction, burn, whatever you want to play. And this set will grant them, so you can play anybody as an attack. It gives you 15% of attack. So anybody, you can play them with a lineup that deals debuff, you can play them with that. It will absolutely be safe. Just like Thunder set, this is the other safest set in the game. But I highly don't recommend it right now because we got so much cleanses in the team. Imagine you're playing Isekai and PDL on the same lineup with Brain and Gagaran, okay? So they will heal by him, they will cleanse by him, and they will cleanse by PDL with his shields. It will be absolutely insane, and it will just make you feel so sad because you need a lot of debuffs on Demiurge, you need a lot of debuffs with Albedo so you can ramp up your damages, especially with her leader skill, and for himself to stun the enemies. With Demiurge, because they will be putting a lot of burn on your enemies, he will increase his damages by the Executioner set, which is absolutely fantastic. Also for Albedo, whenever they have debuffs, she's gonna deal extra more damages, so it works for her. Again, you don't need to build them on this set, you can build them on any other set. I would highly recommend playing them on this set. It will be super nice, but it's safe always to have this because you will get a lot of this set as well for free in the game. Not as much as Thunder set, but it will guarantee you some sets. And this was for our carries list for the sets that I've built. Now, of course, I'm gonna do one for the supports and tanks as well. And I didn't include Sunset set. You see here? These are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a 7th one for also for the which is the Sunset set, which also an attack boost. And do not build it. Do not get rid of the Sunset set. It's absolutely useless. I'm telling you from now. We've done a lot of reviews. This is the best sets that will give you utilities to your characters, to your units. If you want to play Sunset set, I would say you're playing a lineup that want to go round after round after round and getting the enemies so low, and then you're gonna go and do something else. But the game is so fast. The only lineup that is going late game is the counter team. If you want to play Sunset set on one of the carries on the counter team, it's understandable. But other than that, the meta is 1 shot or 2 round kill or 3 round kill or 1 round kill. So don't build them on Sunset set. And let me know about your opinions in the comment. This was the video, and I'll see you in the next one.